I call to order the council meeting on February 28th, 2024. It's 5:35. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilwoman Campbell. Councilman Leon.
Here.
Councilwoman Godaro.
Present.
Councilwoman Julian.
Here.
Councilman Stevens.
Here.
Vice Mayor Wilson.
Here.
Mayor Harris.
I'm present.
You have a quorum.
All right. Please stand for the invocation and pledge of allegiance.
God our Father, we thank you for your grace. We thank you for your mercy. We thank you for this opportunity, God, to gather together collectively as we prepare to discuss business that affect our people. It is in this moment, God, we ask that you continue to bless this great city that we call home, the city of Miami Gardens. Bless its leadership, residents, stakeholders, everyone that has something to do with this great city. It is our prayers that you continue to open up your windows of heaven and pour out your many blessings upon us. And in all things, we promise to give you all the praise, honor, and glory that your precious name deserves. It is in your Son's name I do pray. Amen.
Amen.
To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we're on approval of minutes.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, before the council, I do have the February 14th, 2024 City Council draft meeting minutes for your approval.
I need a motion on the minutes.
Motion.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Showing none, we accept the minutes. We're on order of business. Are there any items that need to be added, deleted, withdrawn, pulled, whatever?
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
I do have 3 add-on items that was forwarded to the council. Add-on item number 1, sponsored by Councilwoman Linda Julian, urging Miami-Dade County Board of County Commissioners to develop a process to transfer water services. Without objection, we ask that it be added to consent agenda as item 11.18. We have
11:18?
11.8, sorry.
Okay.
And then we have add-on item number 2, sponsored by Mayor Rodney Harris, urging Miami-Dade County to enforce Florida Statute 180.19 as it relates to water utility services. Without objections, we ask that it be added to the consent agenda as item 11.9. And then we have add-on item number 3, sponsored by the city manager, which is authorizing an MOU with Miami-Dade County State Attorney's Office for services in association with the police department. And without objections, we ask that it be added as 11.10.
All right. I need a motion on those items being added.
Second.
Yes. Yeah. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? I'm sorry. Maybe through the mayor, Mr. Clerk, with the add-on items that have been added, if they need to be pulled, can you direct me on how does that? Can you direct me on how does that work? They were just added, but can they also be pulled before we move forward? I don't know.
Go ahead. Whichever one you want to pull.
Both. I'm sorry, not 11.8 you just added and 11.9.
Okay. Duly noted.
Now, which one is
11.8 is Councilwoman Linda Julian's item.
Mm-hmm.
And 11.9 is my item.
So just for the sake of categorizing everything, we'll show add-on item number 1 as 12.1 and add-on item number 2 as 12.2, and then add-on item number 3 will be 11.8.
All right, say that again.
Yeah.
All right, so
Say the name.
say the names. Okay, item number 1, urging Miami-Dade County to develop a process to transfer water. Instead of it being added to the consent agenda, it'll be added as a regular resolution under 12.
Okay.
He's pulling it from the consent agenda.
12.1.
It'll be 12.1.
And then add-on item number 2, urging Miami-Dade County to enforce Florida Statute 180.19. We'll have it shown on the agenda as item 12.2. And then add-on item number 3, which is a MOU with Miami-Dade County State Attorney's Office. Since there's no objections to adding that to the consent agenda, we'll have that noted as 11.8.
11.8.
11.8.
Okay, any objection to adding these items to the agenda or being pulled? Or do we go ahead and approve the agenda right now? Need a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Show the agenda approved.
There are no special presentations. We're now on to public comments.
Do you have any written communication, Mr. Clerk?
No, we've not received any written communications for this meeting.
All right, could you read the back of the card, please?
Yes, sir. Article 2, Section 2-60 of the City of Miami Gardens Code entitled Public Participation provides that any person making personally irrelevant, impertinent, or slanderous remarks or who becomes boisterous while addressing the City Council shall not be considered orderly or observing decorum. If any person becomes too lengthy, abusive, obscene, and/or disruptive, or otherwise fails to comply with decorum rules, the presiding officer may issue a warning and provide an opportunity for the individual to conclude remarks in a decorous manner and within the designated time limit, interrupt and terminate the individual from concluding their remarks, or bar the individual from further appearance before the City Council unless or until permission to continue or again address the City Council is granted by a majority vote of the City Council. Order shall be maintained. If any person refuses to obey the orders of the presiding officer and is declared out of order, the individual may be subject to removal by the Sergeant at Arms.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk, and that applies to our council as well. All right, we're on public comments. First public comment card I have is Ms. Clara Johnson. Ms. Johnson? And behind her will be Shawnee Sumter or Summer?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Clara Johnson. My address is 19621 Northwest 22nd Court. I'm here to express my displeasure with the outcome with the two council members as far as that money being allocated from Formula One. I think that was for the City of Miami Gardens. It does not necessarily mean that one individual in the council should have that ability to stop our people from being able to benefit. We're never going to all agree because that's the way the world is. But unfortunately, what you've done, I'm very disappointed. And especially, you know, Mr. Stephen just gave a beautiful prayer. Did you think that bless Miami Gardens? Let's bless everybody, but let's do the right thing. We don't need Trump Reaganomics in Miami Gardens. It's awful. That's all I got to say. I'm very upset.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. And then behind Ms. How do you say your last name?
Sumter.
Sumter?
Yes.
Behind Ms. Sumter will be Basil. This Mr. Cole. Mr. Cole, did you fill out one of these cards too? Okay, you're next.
Good evening. My name is Shawnee Sumter. I reside at 3401 Northwest 210th Terrace. I stand in support of Councilwoman Shannon Campbell for residential seat number 1. She's doing great work in the community. On the other hand, I am disgusted with the behavior of Mayor Harris, council members Linda Julian, Katrina Wilson, Reggie Leon, and Robert Stevens. At the last council meeting, Councilwoman Shannon Campbell stated how Linda Julian received $190,000 of F1 dollars. All of you stated that that was not true. However, after obtaining a record request at the November 8, 2023 council meeting, the 5 of you voted yes for Linda Julian's 12.1 resolution to receive $130,000 F1 dollars for the RAP program. The Five Amigos are not serving our community well. Also, Rodney Harris, you did an item to give your friend Danny Felton $100,000 of F1 dollars, but you all wouldn't vote yes for Councilwoman Shannon Campbell item to help returning citizens and gun buyback, which both are needed and beneficial to this community. Rodney Harris, we will vote you out. Linda Julian, we will vote you out so you can take your nasty attitude back to North Miami. Katrina Wilson, what kind of AKA sister are you? You are not behaving sisterly at all. Robert Stevens, don't forget, Shannon Campbell beat you hands down before to the point you had been appointed by Oliver Gilbert, and we will vote you out. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Cole?
Mayor, point of order. Mr. Mayor, the conduct call is asking that we don't be addressed by individual names.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Basil Cole, 2350 Northwest 187th Street, Miami Garden, 33056. Now, normally I never usually come up here to speak on no issue. But when I hear and attend a press conference on Friday, and I hear what's going on with the council, with Reggie, Linda Julian, and Mr. Stevens, and voting against the funds that's supposed to be given to the people who are voters. That's not fair. This is Miami Gardens. We're not separating it. That funds was given to the city of Miami Gardens. And for you all to take it, giving this one 50,000, that one 50,000, and then leave out the councilwoman Isadora and leaving out Shannon Campbell, councilwoman, that's not fair, Mr. Mayor. You are supposed to be the moderator up there. And when this bickering, I usually pray for this city, but I cut it off. Because it's going to happen just like in Pembroke Park and other council meetings, because pure bickering up there. Because everybody, what I see so far, immature. No maturity is there. And you all have to come together and consider the people. But remember this. Remember this now, voting time coming. And I have all these people behind me. Whoever say my one vote don't count, I'm going to show them how much vote count. Because we're going to move them. And I'm really mad at it, Mr. Mayor. I don't like it. It's not right. It's not right for the people in District 3 and District 1. It's not right. The money was given for us to do what is supposed to be done for your people. And they're taking it, issuing it to be recognized for their election time coming, keeping book this and do this and keeping up, what you call it, karaoke and all kind of crap.
Mr. Cole, time. Thank you, sir.
I'm telling you, I need to see proof because I'm telling you I'm going to stand behind these people and vote them out.
Thank you, Mr. Cole. Mr. Bratton?
Good evening. I'm going to deviate, okay? I apologize, but I support your cause. My name is Melvin Bratton, 19468 Northwest 28th Place. I'm the president of Legislation Number 1. I made a call to Mr. Roberts in reference to 8.1 today and didn't get a call. As the president of HOA 1, I don't support 8.1, okay?
Thank you, Mr. Bratton. I believe it's Ms. Cole, Pat Cole. And Darian Helpburn, you're next.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Patricia Cole, 2350 Northwest 187th Street. I'm here on a different issue. I want to first of all thank the City of Miami Gardens Park and Recreation, especially Ms. Paulette Murphy. I held an event on the 17th of February at Bennett Lifter Park.
Excuse me,
family
Ms.
members.
Cole. Hold on for a second. Can we all put our phones on vibrate, please? Thank you, guys. Go ahead, Ms. Cole.
I had family members from Washington State, Maryland, all over the United States. And believe you me, they gave kudos to Miami Gardens Park staff. Mr. Elliott George was a jewel, and Ms. Tabitha Stevens was a beautiful person. They really helped us. They really made it a success. And thank you, Mr. Mayor, and anybody who helped make the parks the way they did in Miami Gardens. So, hey, people told me, why use CB Smith Park, but kudos to Miami Gardens Park and Recreation Department. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cole. Darren Helpburn. And then it's going to be Kyrese Massey and Michael Horn.
Hello, my name is Darian Hepburn Murray. My address is 2000 Northwest 173rd Terrace. My issue is a little different. I have questions about Jazz in the Gardens tickets. I was wondering, can you guys offer us another alternative besides Ticketmaster? The Ticketmaster fees are about $70 when you try to purchase 2 tickets. So if you can offer an alternative site so we can purchase the tickets and make it more affordable.
Let me have you talk with Sam Randall in the back there.
Okay,
He
all
can
right,
talk.
thank you. All right,
All right, thank you. Kyrese.
Good afternoon, Honorable Mayor Rodney Harris, esteemed members of the City Council, and our distinguished guests. I stand before you today on behalf of Chief Hall Alumni Association, representing the proud graduates of Miami Carroll City Senior High School. These graduates span from the years of 1963 to 2024 for this current school year. As a community deeply rooted in Miami Gardens, we come together to propose a tribute that honors our legacy and contributions to this vibrant city. Miami Carroll City Senior High School has a rich history of producing leaders, scholars, and change makers who have positively impacted our community and beyond. From educators to entrepreneurs, artists to activists, our alumni have made significant strides in various fields, embodying the spirits of excellence and resilience instilled in us during our time at Carroll City. It is with this spirit in mind that we propose the naming of a street in Miami Gardens in honor of the Chief Hall Alumni Association. This street would serve as a symbol of our commitment to the city and its residents, past, present, and future. It will stand as a reminder of the values we hold dear, which is unity, progress, and community.
So, naming a street after our association is more than just a gesture. It is a recognition of contributions and achievements of all those who walked the halls of Miami Carroll City Senior High School. It is a tribute to the teachers who inspired us, to the coaches who shaped us, to the friends who supported us, and the community that guided us. We believe that naming the street after Chief Hall Alumni Association we are not only honoring our past, but also celebrating our future. We envision a street where our alumni can come together, where students can be inspired, and where the spirit of the Chief Hall lives on. As our alma mater says, far as the widest reaches, great as the sky above, bright as the star that glows through the night. As the sun so strong in thy light, lead us, O alma mater, down the pathways of our youth. Hail to thee, beloved Carroll City, guardian of all truth. So with that being said, we humbly ask for your support in making this vision a reality. We know that together we can ensure that the legacy of Chief Hall and Miami Carroll City Senior High School continues to shine bright in the heart of Miami Gardens. Thank you all for considering our proposal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other written communication? Mr. Dupree? Yeah.
Y'all wasn't expecting to come up so fast. Thought y'all were gonna speak. Hey, Howard Dupree, 1734 Northwest 192nd Street. On a positive note, I just want to mention that Councilwoman Campbell recently had AI workshops. I attended all 4 workshops. Outstanding workshops, artificial intelligence. It's here, and we need to get our youth involved with AI. So if any way possible, find a way to fund educating our kids about AI. It's not going away. It's just going to grow. Second positive note, Councilman Reggie Leon sponsored pickleball kind of introduction a few Saturdays ago. I think it was last month, matter of fact. Outstanding introduction to pickleball. Pickleball is one of the fastest growing sports in the nation. And they're also going to have pickleball at the tennis tournament this year. So I just want to mention it because we may be able to find pickleballs at revenue stream. So we need to, put pickleball courts in our parks. I know our parks started development years before the pickleball was even, thought of. So we got to backtrack and place pickleball courts in our parks. And it can be played by everyone, young, old. It's every city is installing pickleball courts now. And I just want to mention, last week I think I read something about the valuation, the new valuation of the Dolphins is something like $114 billion. So I just want to mention that because we're arguing over peanuts compared to what the Dolphins are worth. All right, thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Dupree. Showing no other public comments are closed at this time.
All right, we're now on to ordinances for first reading. Item 8.1, an ordinance of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, amending Chapter 34, Article 12, Section 34-388 and Section 34-389 of the Code of Ordinances relating to commercial, recreational boat and vessel parking areas to amend regulations relating to recreational vehicles in accordance with Exhibit A attached here to, providing for adoption representation, repealing all ordinances in conflict, providing a severability clause, providing for inclusion in code, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilman Robert Stevens III.
Mr. Stevens?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This item here is essentially cleaning up our ordinance as it addresses the recreational vehicle, boats, and RVs. Currently, we are experiencing an outpour of recreational vehicles, RVs flooding our residential communities. So this is the first attempt to clean up and restrict all of the illegal activity that's taking place within the vehicles. And I would yield to our city manager and deputy city manager to explain a little bit more in detail as it relates to the cleanup item that we have that's before us this evening.
Mr. Clay?
Sure. Craig Clay, Deputy City Manager. So the major change that we are making to the item, we currently already require recreational vehicles to be registered. The second piece of what we're doing is we're requiring them to provide a sworn affidavit that essentially says that they are not renting the RV or that it is not used for any habitation. It is strictly used to be a recreational vehicle. So that's the change that is being made and proposed. In addition to that, it will also allow us to go out and do some inspection to make sure that those things are not happening. We are a little bit ahead of it because in code enforcement over the last several months, we have been working to get an inventory of just how many recreational vehicles are in the city. There are a number of them, as you all know. And so once this ordinance passes, if it passes, we'll be a little bit ahead in going out and doing those things.
Right. Is this public comments on this item?
No, this is not a public hearing. This is a first reading ordinance.
All right, I need a motion on the item.
I move it. Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion from the dais on this item?
Go ahead. Go ahead, Vice Mayor.
Go ahead, go ahead.
The question that I have is, these recreational vehicles, they're going to be subject to inspection, right?
Yes,
How often?
annually.
Annual inspection. Is there a fee connected with the inspection?
There's a fee connected with the registration,
With the
which we'll be
registration.
bringing a resolution to put that fee in place at the next, on the second reading, right? On second reading. We currently have a fee in place now for the registration, but we're reviewing that, and more than likely that fee will be increased to cover the cost of the additional inspections that we need to do.
Now, when we say they're going to be inspected, will they be allowed to have power connected even though they may say no one is living there?
No.
So there will
Strictly to be used as a recreational vehicle. So
Right.
going out on long road trips, all of those types of things.
So no connections. Like, in other words, they can't have it hooked up to the house.
That's correct. They cannot.
Okay. And, well, so they won't be allowed to have it hooked up to the house, correct?
That's correct.
And if there is evidence that these
He got to hit the gas.
you can't hear me?
No, order.
Oh,
In favor, y'all, when the council member is speaking or they're having discussion, just hold it down.
Go ahead, finish.
okay, so there will be no hookup, and if there is evidence that there is not a hookup in our sense, but a hookup to some electricity, what's the consequence?
The consequence is a lien to the property, and they will be required to remove the vehicle immediately.
Does there state anywhere how the timeline for the removal of the vehicle if they are caught in violation?
On something like this, it would be immediate. Normally, with code violations, there's a time frame to correct the violation, but they would be issued a ticket and told to remove the vehicle immediately.
So there will be no timeline. In other
No.
words, we catch you with it plugged up. We're not going to say you got 30 days not to
No.
do that no more. You're not going to have a warning. We're gonna say it's off the property right away.
No, these are not, even in our existing policy, commercial vehicles, recreational vehicles, they do not get the 30 days or what the statute says, a reasonable time to correct the violation. That is not the case for commercial and recreational vehicles.
So in other words, they're using commercial recreational vehicles to live in.
Yes, that is what is suspected.
So one more time, just clarity. So say, for example, somebody not living in it, but they're using it for recreational purposes.
When you say use it for recreational purposes, what do you mean? That they can do that.
Like, in other words, say somebody said, well, nobody sleeps here, but I'm back here and this is an office for me.
If we see evidence that it is being habitated, then we can take action because the affidavit says that nobody will be living in it. It is not to be used as what we call an accessory dwelling unit or anything of that nature.
Okay, just wanted to be clear.
Councilwoman Campbell?
Mr. Mayor, to piggyback on what the Vice Mayor just said, we mentioned about the inspector. So with this item, will there be a need for an inspector, or will code be the ones that enforce this?
It will be enforced by code enforcement.
Okay.
Through code enforcement and planning and zoning also.
Okay, thank you for that answer. My second question is the fees that are being obtained when we, cite someone. Where do those dollars go?
Those dollars go into our general fund.
Okay, thank you.
I have one more.
Got another question? Go ahead.
So this is going to go through code, right?
Code and planning and zoning.
So it's a lot of these recreational vehicles in Miami Gardens. Are we going to have enough personnel tied to this resolution to really enforce this? Because I don't see the fiscal impact on here.
Yes, we will, because as I mentioned earlier, we've actually already started and we kind of know where they are because we've done an inventory of the recreational vehicles already to see how many of those are registered through our existing process. So we have a good idea where they are. We have a good idea of who's in compliance and who's not. And we do need this legislation in order for us to be able to enforce some of the things that we want to do and that we know we need to do.
Okay. Not quite. What I'd like to know going forward as this is implemented, I want to see how many are actually inspected and how long that process takes. Because I know that our code enforcement is on the ground, but it's a lot of stuff that's got to be done. And I don't want to see us take on this huge project, which is much needed, and then neglect the other things that we have really been doing a great job at. So I need to be able to know that that's a fact, that this is not going to be something that the existing personnel cannot handle in addition to their current duties. So will you be able to provide for me at the next meeting a synopsis of that, sir?
Sure.
You'll do that?
We can tell you exactly how many we found up to this point. We can also tell you of those that we have found, how many are compliant. We also have a number of them that, regardless of this legislation, they are not compliant, and we have already begun to address those. There are some that, for example, have used cranes in order to lift them into the yard. We've addressed those, so we know what's out there. We have a good idea.
So you'll provide that for me?
Sure.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, go ahead.
I just wanted to mention that city administration and myself, when we looked at the current ordinance and discussed the things that we were changing or that was necessary as we look at the issue that our community is currently facing, Madam Vice Mayor, there were some things that the city administration, from our manager down to his staff with Ms. Smith and Dr. Bispot, they recommended and they suggest as it relates to the operation piece of it. So I'll just suggest, Mr. Deputy City Manager, that if you can share those things individually with the council members, as with my colleagues as well, as we haze to the second reading on this ordinance. Thank you.
All right, any other questions or concerns? Showing none.
Councilwoman Campbell,
Yes.
Councilman Leon,
Yes.
Councilwoman McDowell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Wilson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Julian,
Yes.
Councilman Stevens,
Yes.
Mayor Harris.
I vote yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Mayor, council, and audience, I just wanted to note the agenda shows a 9.1. That is an error. That's just a duplicate of the first reading orders that we just heard.
Okay.
All right, we're now to item 10, resolutions, public hearing. Item 10.1, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Miami Gardens, Florida, renaming Northwest 156th Street between Northwest 42nd Avenue and Northwest 47th Avenue as Omega Sci-Fi Way, providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date. This is sponsored by Councilman Reggie Leon, and this is a public hearing.
All right. Councilman?
Good evening, everyone. Will the men of Omega Sci-Fi please stand? As we approach the end of Black History Month, and we look at as the Sigma Alpha chapter of Omega Sci-Fi enters into their 85th year of serving within Miami-Dade County. Before there was a Betty T. Ferguson Convention Center, is what we call it now, and before there was a Senior Center, there was the Omega Center over 34 years ago, which provided these services that we're seeing at the Senior Center and at Betty T. Ferguson, provided those services to the North Dade County area, where you can have a reception, you can have a wedding, you can have church services. And so in honor of the 85th year, bringing this item to name the street behind the Omega Center, 156, from 42nd Avenue to 47th Avenue as Omega Sci-Fi Way. With that being said, I move the item.
It's been moved and seconded. Open for public comment. Are there any public comments on 10.1? Mr. Clerk, do you have any written communication?
No written communication.
Something's wrong with Mr. Clay. You okay over there? He's a Kappa, so
Yeah, I'm okay.
He might need to get some water or something. Get him some water.
Pass him some water.
I just need a little water. I just need a little water.
All right, showing no public comments. Public comments are closed. Mr. Clerk,
Call the roll.
call the roll.
Councilman Leon.
Yes.
Councilwoman Godaro.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Wilson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Julian.
Yes.
Councilman Stevens.
Yes.
Councilwoman Campbell.
Yes.
Mayor Harris.
I vote yes.
Motion passes 7-0. We're now on to item 10.2. Give them a chance to clear up. Oh, okay. Item 10.2, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Miami Gardens, Florida, renaming Northwest 187th Street between Northwest 32nd Avenue and Northwest 34th Court as Chief Hallway.
Hold on, Mr. Clerk.
Rich ain't say nothing to the Omegas. I wonder why.
Let's give them an opportunity if they exit then to exit.
Look at Pogue.
Holy.
Look at Pogue.
Look at Pogue.
Pogue. Where you going?
Go ahead. Hey,
Go
Rick.
ahead, Mr. Clerk.
Rick,
He's going to do some
going
community engagement.
Go ahead, Mr. Clerk.
All right, item 10.2, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Miami Gardens, Florida, renaming Northwest 187th Street between Northwest 32nd Avenue and Northwest 34th Court as Chief Hallway. Authorize the city manager to change the street signage, providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date. And this is sponsored by Vice Mayor Katrina Wilson. This is a public hearing.
Vice Mayor.
Yes, it is absolutely my pleasure to sponsor the street renaming of 187 Street in right behind Miami Carroll City to be named Chief Hallway. I am a proud graduate of Miami Carroll City Senior High School, as is all of my sisters and the lion's share of my family. And so much of what makes Miami Gardens is the name Carroll City. Because before we became a city, this area was known as Carroll City. And to see the younger, vibrant alumni to be organized in the way that they have organized themselves, the pride of that they demonstrate in not only just organizing themselves, but reaching into that school and helping to rebuild it with their blood, with their sweat, with their tears, with their resources, and to establish and rewater and refertilize the roots of this community is something that I am proud to be involved with, and something that I am proud to see them be able to do. And so it is my honor on behalf of my alumni class and the community, especially Residential Seat 4, to sponsor this in the name of Chief Hallway. And if you guys continue to do the work that you are doing right now, it would reach into the tentacles far into our history. But it would also show the Vikings and the Bulls and all those other people that we ain't nobody to be messed up with.
We won't even go there. All right.
I'll move the item.
I second. Item been moved and seconded. Any questions or concerns from the dais? No, this is a public hearing. Any public comments on this item? The clerk, did you receive any kind of written communication?
No, Mr. Mayor, but we will note the public comments made earlier. When we do the minutes, we'll put them under this item.
All right, thank you. Show public comments are closed right now. Call the roll, please.
Councilwoman McDowell.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Wilson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Julian.
Yes.
Councilman Stevens.
Yes.
Councilwoman Campbell.
Yes.
Councilman Leon.
Yes.
Mayor Harris.
I vote yes.
Motion passes 7-0. All right, we're now on to the consent agenda. Item 11.1, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, authorizing the allocation of $2,900 from Mayor Rodney Harris Public Affairs Special Events Account in support of the Trayvon Martin Foundation Remembrance Gala held on Sunday, February 4th, 2023, non-pro-tunc, provided for adoption representation, provided for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Mayor Rodney Harris. Item 11.2, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, allocating funds from Councilwoman Shannon Campbell's Public Affairs Special Events Account not to exceed $3,500 in support of the I Rosette program sponsored by Gamma Zeta Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority, Inc., providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilwoman Shannon Campbell. Item 11.3, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, authorize the city manager to rely on that certain Sourcewell Master Agreement number 092722 that has been competitively solicited and execute participation addendums as issued purchase orders not to exceed the annual amount in quote number Q494215-45327.838 AP for the total of $1,039,008 to Axon Enterprise, Inc. for a term of 5 years for tasers for the police department pursuant to Section 2-757, subsection B, subsection 2 of the Procurement Code, provided for adoption representation, provided for an effective date, and this is sponsored by the City Manager. Item 11.4, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, authorize the City Manager to rely on that certain Sourcewell Master Agreement number 010720-AXN that has been competitively solicited and executed participating addendum and issue purchase orders not to exceed the annual amount in quote number Q494216-45327-838 AP for a total of $1,211,257.25 to Axon Enterprise for a term of 5 years for body-worn cameras for the police department pursuant to Section 2-757, subsection B, subsection 2 of the Procurement Code, provided for adoption representation, provided for an effective date, and this is sponsored by the City Manager. Item 11.5, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, authorize City Manager to issue purchase orders to Tidal Technologies, Inc. for the maintenance, support, and license of the Eden software package in an amount not to exceed $100,585.84 by relying upon quote number 045-445582, waiving the bid and quotation procedures pursuant to Section 2-757, subsection B, subsection 1 of the Procurement Code, providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by the City Manager. Item 11.6, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, awarding invitation to bid ITB number 23-24-008, wayfinding sign production and installation to Signorama of Hollywood in an amount not to exceed $183,100, provided for adoption representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by the City Manager. Item 11.7, resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, allocating funds from Councilwoman Linda Julian's Public Affairs Special Events Account in an amount not to exceed $900 for the second annual Black History Essay Contest, provided for adoption representation, provided for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilwoman Linda Julian. Item 11.8, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, authorize the City Manager to renew the partnership memorandum of understanding with Miami-Dade County State Attorney's Office to employ an assistant state attorney and other staff to work with the City of Miami Gardens on gun violence and other serious crimes, provided for adoption representation, provided for an effective date, and this is sponsored by the City Manager, and that is your consent agenda.
I need a motion on the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Showing none. Show the consent agenda passes.
All right, we're now on to item 12, resolutions. Item 12.1, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, urging the Miami-Dade Board of County Commissioners to develop a process to transfer the water of city ratepayers who are currently receiving water from North Miami Beach to Miami-Dade County, providing for instructions to the City Manager and City Attorney, providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilwoman Linda Julian.
This was pulled by Councilwoman Campbell. Councilwoman Campbell.
So this is 12.1, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So I'm trying to figure what's the difference. I see one says transfer and the other one says enforce. So we're going to be transferring.
Oh, what you said
I'm sorry?
one say transfer, one, you mean the
12.1
two items?
saying, yeah.
Okay.
Transfer, and the next one we get to says enforce.
All right, so let's hold that enforced till we get to 12.2.
With the transfer statement with 12.1, does that mean the situation that we're having, because I know it's still some legalities going on with this water situation. So with the transferring, how is that going to affect the legal aspect of this? Does it take it away from the city to the county now? Does that also transfer? That's my first question.
Oh, okay.
You were asking
I can explain them because they were added. I don't think because they were added on. So I could explain to both of them and then try to answer your question too, Councilwoman. So the first one, sponsored by Councilwoman Julian, is the residents who are currently on North Miami Beach water. You know, we've been fighting and we haven't really. You know where the issues are. I won't speak in private about the litigation. What we're now asking the county to do is to start the process to transfer them to Miami-Dade County Water, because the rates that are paid by people who get water from Miami-Dade are far less expensive, and they don't charge that surcharge. So we're just asking the county if it's possible to start transferring people over to the county on the first one.
Oh, okay. So that does not mean the legal situation we're in stops. We're going to continue with the legal issue?
No, we're going to continue with where we are, which we'll probably be wrapping that up soon. And I'm going to call a shade session soon with you all to talk about it. But it's not stopping our litigation as of yet.
Okay.
It's just because we don't know if it can actually happen, but we want it to happen if it can happen.
Understood.
Okay. And then on that second one, what we're asking, they were charging that surcharge and they were providing water to that area before we incorporated. So we never had an agreement between the cities to say, okay, you provide our residents water and this is what the deal looks like. So because of that, our residents were kind of stuck with receiving their water. But there's a state statute that authorizes an agreement between cities if one city is providing another city water where you can negotiate something. Well, we never got the opportunity to do that. So there's a clause in the county's charter that says that the county kind of regulates water within its area. So this one is asking the Board of County Commissioners to require the city of North Miami Beach to negotiate an agreement with the city of Miami Gardens for the water. So it's kind of, there are alternative methods to try to address the issues. One is, okay, transfer to the county and or we negotiate an agreement where we could talk about how much money our residents pay for this water. So.
Okay. So let me stay on the first one, 12.1 with the enforcement. The transferring. So back to the transferring item, my second question is this. So these residents, if this moves forward, will have the opportunity to have their water supplied by the county and no longer from North Miami. Is that accurate?
Yes, that is our hope. And also not just residents, all ratepayers, commercial and resident. Yes.
Okay.
That's what is intended to try
Okay,
to do.
good. I like that. I like that. All right, I'm done with that. That's 12.1.
All right, so I need a motion on 12.1.
Motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Any other discussions from the dais? None? Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilwoman Julian.
Yes.
Councilman Stevens.
Yes.
Councilwoman Campbell.
Yes.
Councilman Leon.
Yes.
Councilwoman Godaro.
Yes.
Vice President Wilson. Mayor Harris.
I vote yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Mr. Mayor, to the clerk, I need to register a vote for my consent agenda.
Yes, sir. Yes. All right. Duly noted.
We're on 12.2.
Yes, we're on item 12.2. A resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, urging the Miami-Dade Board of County Commissioners to enforce the requirements of Florida Statute 180.19 to require the City of North Miami Beach to enter into an interlocal agreement with the City of Miami Gardens as it relates to the provisions of the water utilities, providing for instructions to the city manager and city attorney, providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Mayor Rodney Harris.
And
So, Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
maybe Madam Attorney, you kind of touched on it, but I want to make sure that I'm clear on the word enforce. So once this item moves forward, the enforcement will be on the responsibility of Miami-Dade County. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. And this is the same, along the same item that State Rep fought for up until, is it
It's
this or
it's
is
different.
it?
It's
Okay,
different.
all right. Okay.
Different.
This is just another way of us trying to be able to get into a
Right.
position where we can force them to at least sit down with us and work out an interlocal agreement.
Okay. Okay. I like that, the enforcement. So who's going to be the enforcer?
Well, this resolution is asking Miami-Dade County to enforce it.
Okay.
So we'll probably be also trying to enforce it as well, but to take the lead, Miami-Dade County.
Okay. So will you be that voice for us, or will the mayor, like when we kind of getting updates, and will we, the council, be informed on moving forward where we're at in this process with this item?
Yes. I mean, I will. As far as everything I know, I will. And yes, the mayor is the person that would be, of course, involved because it's government to government. But yes, we will keep you all aware, abreast.
That's my final question.
That's it?
That's it.
All right. Need a motion on this item?
I move the item.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded. Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilman Stevens.
Yes.
Councilwoman Campbell.
Yes.
Councilman Leon.
Yes.
Councilman McDarrell.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Wilson. Yes. Councilwoman Julian.
Yes.
Mayor Harris.
I vote yes.
Motion passes 7-0. There are no quasi-judicial zoning items. We're now on to the reports of the city manager, city attorney, and city clerk.
Mr. Manager,
No report, Mayor.
Madam Attorney.
Yes, I do. This is notice that I will be calling a private attorney-client meeting at a date and time to be determined in closed chambers in the mayor and city council recess room, first floor, 18605 Northwest 27th Avenue, Miami Gardens, Florida, 33056, to discuss the litigation case City of Miami Gardens versus City of North Miami Beach. Those in attendance will be limited to Mayor Rodney Harris, Vice Mayor Katrina Wilson, Councilwoman Shannon Campbell, Councilwoman Shannon Iguodaro, Councilwoman Linda Julian, Councilman Reggie Leon, Councilman Robert Stevens, City Manager Cameron Benson, City Attorney Sonia Dickens, Assistant City Attorneys Jonelle Murphy and Zachary Stokes, Outside Counsel Eugene Stearns and Matthew Dates, and the court reporter. The subject matter of the meeting shall be confined to settlement negotiations and/or strategy sessions related to litigation expenditures. Such meetings shall be held and a record made thereof in accordance with Section 286-0118 Florida statutes.
That's it, Madam Attorney?
Yes.
All right.
That's it. Thank you.
Mr. Clerk.
No report.
Mr. Stevens.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Madam Attorney, it's good to hear a report from you this evening.
I do written quarterly reports.
You do. First and foremost, I just want to thank my colleagues and some of the residents for attending a worship service this past weekend with me, my congregation. I really appreciate you all. My report is as follows. The Miami Gardens Fitness Challenge, we wrapped it up the last 7 weeks. Residents engaged in the fitness classes at the Betty T. Ferguson Recreational Center. And on Saturday, we awarded 3 residents for their hard work and dedication throughout the duration of the challenge. And we'll be announcing the dates for our Summer Meltdown Fitness Challenge. And this is an effort, an initiative to promote healthy lifestyles, better living, and just improving the quality of life holistically as we address and work to move our city forward in a great direction. Also, the Miami Gardens Dream Scholarship program is now open for high school seniors. The application is due by April 26th, Friday, April 26th. The Miami Gardens Dream Scholarship was designed to provide financial assistance to high school graduates who need additional funding to realize their dreams and attend and graduating from an accredited institution of higher learnings. The scholarship is now open and eligible to all City of Miami Gardens residents. For more information, you can email scholarship@miamigardens-fl.gov. And then just a report on the City University Partnership. one that I am extremely proud about and the progress that's happening. We're currently running college classes at the Betty T. Ferguson Recreational Center, and our residents are currently taking classes and getting their certificate in business specialist. There's some general educational courses through Miami-Dade College that's being offered, and then we have students that's currently enrolled at Florida Memorial University in their construction trade program as well. We're looking to add more courses and more certificates online as the summer rollout, as the summer semester approach. So stay tuned to that and connect to any of our city web pages for more information. Thank you to my colleagues for supporting the ordinance this evening as we work to address the recreational, the RVs, the boats, and things of that nature throughout our city that is taking a toll on many of our residents. That ends my report, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Councilwoman Nigadaro?
No report, Mr. Mayor.
Councilman Leon?
Yes, good evening. I would like to take this time out. First and foremost, I want to recognize our police department for a recertification, passing that recertification successfully. Kudos to you guys on that. Also, I want to take the time out to thank the residents. We had over 23,000 residents that attended karaoke in the gardens with an economic impact of over $325,000, which we're still collecting data for some of the food trucks that we haven't reached out to yet. And we had 1,105 people actually register to vote. 63 people changed their addresses. So as we continue to build community, this is what it looks like. Being able to bring our community out in record numbers, not have any crime, any crime activity go on in this city. Special thanks to Captain Hendricks and the police department, events and media, Yaniria from my office for being able to put this together. And then we also had Taste of the Culture. What this did is it gave local businesses another opportunity to take those food trucks off the side of the streets, take them out from the gas stations, and put them in a centralized location so we can continue to support these Miami Gardens business. And one thing about karaoke is that it's all Miami Gardens based, from the videographers to the sound screens down to the local businesses that we continue to support. And that ends my report, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Councilwoman Campbell?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I want to start my report by stating I want to publicly thank Woman Stan Inc. for recognizing me, and I will be honored on this coming Saturday at the first Shirley Gibson Awards. So for the service that I have done in this community. So I'm excited about that. And thank you, Woman Stan. Also, keep in mind, seniors, April 27, we will be hosting the second annual Seniors Cooking with Love. We have confirmed 12 chefs this time because I know what y'all looking for, and I got a special treat for y'all. So make sure you look for that. Put it on your calendars, April 27, and it will start around 3-ish. We're still in the process of getting the flyer together, but be looking for it, but save the date. And we're going to make the magic happen right here in Miami Gardens for our seniors. Now, on another note, I have to address something that has, been talked about, and you all have seen it on the news. Robert Stevens, you made a comment on the news that seat 1 and seat 3 is not well represented. I want to publicly say I take offense to that because I've worked hard and I've earned where I'm at. I was duly elected. The people elected me. So I am offended when you make public comments like that to the media. And with that being said, if it's anyone that's not well representing the city of Miami Gardens, it's you. Okay? For 3 reasons. You live an alternative lifestyle, and it's okay. Be yourself. It's okay.
Hold on.
Secondly,
let's point of order.
Secondly,
Councilwoman.
all right, I'm done.
No, point of order.
Secondly,
She's not in the code
you
of
probably,
conduct.
No,
She's not in the code
Come
of
on.
conduct.
That's
She's not in the
right.
code of conduct.
That's not
Point
right.
of order.
no.
secondly, I'm almost done.
No,
Secondly,
you can't continue.
Point of order.
You can't continue
Hold
with
on,
this.
hold on.
No,
thank you.
you can't
Secondly,
The mayor, you stated the code
you
of conduct.
portray yourself as a pastor, okay? And now
Listen, I'm gonna
you're
adjourn
going
this
to say
meeting because
that
that was
we're
out of line.
not being good stewards with seat
This
1 and
meeting
seat
is
3.
adjourned.
I'm done.
That was out of line.